Welcome to the ThoughtToy WordMap. This is the third and final step for comfort. Decision memory, growing specialty, for comfort. Okay? Everything we do is for comfort. It's our prime mover. Alright? This whole section is about the phenomena of feelings and how to deal with them. And, because every feeling maps for comfort. Okay? Why do we have the remote control? For comfort. Why do you go to the bathroom? For comfort. Everything we do is for comfort. Why do we have legs? For comfort. You could go and why do we have the internet? For comfort. That's all of it. Every word maps to comfort. All right. The reasons why we do. It's our prime mover. Why did the tree move? For comfort. All right. So what we're doing on this one is that instead of living as words, we're going to live and trust our feelings as decision memory. And we're going to map words to our feelings, so we have the phenomena of feeling is our best friend in the whole world, like it should be. Why do birds fly south? For comfort. Why do fish swim? For comfort. All right, here we go. A tree feels, a more sun this way. Oh, better. And then it's good again. All right. You come home and your dog gets better and then good again. All right? And so good is our base state. When the child learned to walk, he took one step and fell. Well, that's actually just an error. And so he got back over here to good, and then it took two steps, and then fell, and he made an error. Okay, he got back. These are our three base states. The word bad does not exist in nature. It was made for primarily to protect memory. All right, and so when kids are never bad. They might make an error because of of a bad judgment, but they're nothing is bad. The reason, bad is the reason that people, when they start looking backwards, that phenomena is, so when you're processing, your mind and your feeling, and if you ever have the feeling of bad, well, you know that you have just thrown an error. Good knows better. Bad is an install error. Never forget that. And so you'll go through the same cycle that the baby learned to walk when you're taking this bad and out of your mind. Because bad is a lot of the reason that all of these anomalies that we face in our society today is that people look at the world look through their lens in a less than good way because of the memory corruption. All right, so as you know, less than good is nil. I mean, haven't you ever heard, you give them the world and they still want more? Hey, that's me, that's you. That's how we're made to be. Okay, so good, better, and error are the unity states. They will keep you in unity and we will be in unity. Okay, we're made for addiction. Air, water, food, shelter. I'm addicted to all these things, and you are too. All right? So addiction is not a bad thing. Being addicted to our specialty is the best thing in the whole world, because that's what happened. Remember with the child, there's an Einstein inside of every child, and it's our job to get it out. Well, if we're not chasing after our specialties, well, then we're going to have a bunch of weirded out addictions like drugs and alcohol and all those things that make our world, why our prisons are full today is because people aren't questing after what they're made of. Specialty. Worship. Oh, it's a natural phenomenon. It's the way we felt about our parents when we were born. Okay? That this, we're born in worship of our parents. It's a phenomenon we cannot turn off. That's why that we have the addiction and stuff, is that, we worship this stuff. We got to have it. It's the way it's supposed to be. And today what we do is we transfer, today it's worship is transferred to save memory. Okay, so what happens with a parent and a child is that, we bring them up and then we teach them what we already know. is more important than the worship that they feel for their parents. And so then our parents are divided from their kids. What we know is just what we know now. It's not what we're going to know in 1,000 or 10,000 or, who knows what we're going to know. All we do now is that what we do is we take a child and we just break them. That like we put them in a cage and say, this is the way it is. And this is, worship is like the greatest thing in the whole world. I mean, this is what drives us. The feeling of worship, towards our parents is what kept us alive. And the mom, a mom may be out of worship, and be like all corrupted in her mind, but then she has a baby and that worship comes back beyond whatever word magic that she has going on in her head that makes her act the other way. And so, that phenomenon of worship is a good thing. All right, and so this is it gives us comfort. And so pretend that we didn't even have any saved memory. Remember that example, that pretend we never had, that you were alive when we didn't have saved memory? Well, that's how that we as decision memory feel about each other. Okay, and that when you saw another person, it's like, oh my gosh, this is another person. We don't care what kind of words that they think they are or anything like that, because we don't have saved memory to all bash each other around and think that this is more important than our future. Okay, so we should, if anything, worship the future. The whole example of being able to stand in the future and look back to today. Oh, everlasting life. This is a cool one. There's 2 ways to achieve everlasting life on earth. We can unite memory like these people did. Einstein, Jefferson, Galileo, Gutenberg, Muhammad, Jesus, Cicero, Socrates. All these people, united our decision memory more. And that's why, that they have everlasting life and saved memory. We will always know these people for as long as that there's life, life that uses saved memory, on earth. These people will always be known, because they united memory. But there's no middle ground here. The only other way to get everlasting life is to divide memory. Names like Hitler come to mind, and Sirhan and Manson and Dahmer, and these people who divide our memory that are here that get everlasting life. But there's only one way to treat your memory, all right? And what happens when you divide your memory? You divide yourself. We'll see that later. So every decision that you make will unite you. All right. So there's 2. Everlasting life is here, and if you use your specialty properly, in this, from the lens of decision memory, you can gain it if you're still alive. Freedom, the right to unite, and let's first start with ourselves and uniting with our own body and our own mind. All right. Right now, because of the memory corruption, people have thoughts they would not want all people to know in their head. All right. So if you're having thoughts in your mind that you wouldn't want to be read, if everybody could read your mind, because it's really true, you can tell when someone hides behind their thoughts once that you have thoughts that you're proud of, every single one. If you're looking at the world as one, and you're looking at the world from the future to today, and you're making decisions today for a better future, when people are divided inside, because they can't hide it. If they're having thoughts that they wouldn't want read by other people, and you're willing to have all of your thoughts read, it stands out to you, and you can see it. So any thought that you have that you wouldn't want to be read by all people is memory corruption. And that, and so with this word map, you're able to live as though everybody can read your mind, and you can stand proud. And you will feel a freedom inside that you will never, that is indescribable, a comfort that is beyond. And then you'll be able, because of this, the more that you're united with yourself inside, the more free you are inside your own body, because you can have all of your thoughts willing to be read, then we can unite with the rest of the people on earth and do this thing right. Okay, so freedom is the right to unite. First, we unite with our own self. All right? Then we unite without. Now, I'm not going to go too deep in here because we've already covered this ground. But right now, because the internet is covering it up, and because people are making decisions that the internet is getting cut up, and that people are making decisions like these lines, that the lines really exist on this planet. Right now our right to unite, our freedom, is in serious jeopardy. Okay, so I love you. Here we go, next one. What is it? Oh, manifest destiny. Here's the deal. Pretend we never ever change the state of a child and we only build it. We grow this child like a farmer grows his corn to be the best corn it can be. Well, we grow as life. We're not growing words here. We are growing life. All right? And so we take this child's decision memory and only improve it. What do you think the lifespan, being that this child is united inside? How old will this child be? All right? And so this child has a natural right, to live as though he is from earth, not from a word. Okay? And so, when we take a child and we grow them, and, they could, I'm guessing like 250 years old, because the child will never be divided inside, like in the freedom example, they'll have an open mind and they'll live as though everybody can read their mind and they'll stand proud. We won't have that phenomena of when a child is all happy and grand and great, and then when we get a hold of them, we just tame them like we treat them, they become sad and they become like, become like the world today. So that's, we take a child and we go totally opposite with it, and we make their decision state more important than what we already know, because what they will know is not what we'll know. We let them have their own unique relationship with the future, and this is our manifest destiny, to look at the world in this manner. Okay, and so but nothing can stop us once that when you see this symbol, that we know that this symbol, that this person makes a decision in a very one, we have a very specific way of making decisions here as decision memory, because it's based on earth itself. So, and lastly here, we end up with prayer. Okay, it's perfectly natural. We eat what's ringing in our ears. All right, and then you consider, here's some decision memory. We eat all 100% decision memory, and then the recorded works of others and saved memory, and then here we are. And so, prayer is perfectly natural. When you get food and say you're really hungry and you eat something and you're going, oh, that's so good, yum, that's a prayer. It's the animals do it. Everybody does it. All of these phenomena are common in every mammal that are out there that we have covered since that in this whole section for comfort. And so, lastly, in closing, for comfort, if you stand there and you feel that in this position, you can feel this to yourself. And so let's close with a little prayer about our future here. That we respect how our children are born, and we improve their state as if they're from earth instead of a word, and we build on memory instead of protect it, and we unite, and we bring this thought toy to the minds of all people of earth, because it makes a better world. And there is no better message to support than the thought toy. We need to get this out here. Tell your friends, tell your family, and I'll continue to improve the progression and make it better, but it's good now, and I love you, and there's no better message to support than the thought toy. I love you, and thank you for coming, for being here, and I look forward to meeting you someday. You be the best you can be. Chase your specialty.